Once there was a young man who sat on his porch every evening watching the sunset, telling himself, "One day I'll chase my dreams." Days turned into months and months into years. The sunsets kept coming, but his one day never did. He always found a reason to wait. Not enough money, not enough time, not enough courage. What he didn't realize was that while he was waiting for the perfect moment, life was quietly passing by. There's a line in The Alchemist that says, "The secret of life is to fall in love with your destiny." But how can you love it if you never meet it? Every morning, you are handed 24 golden hours. They are the most precious thing you will ever own, and unlike money, you can't save them. Every hour you don't use is gone forever, like water slipping through your fingers. The trap is subtle. It's called the comfort zone. It feels safe. It feels calm, but it is a thief wearing a friendly mask. It will steal your passion, your courage, and eventually your time. When you're old, it won't be the mistakes you made that haunt you. It will be the things you never dared to try. Fear whispers, "What if you fail?" But fear never asks, "What if you succeed?" It keeps you chained to the shore, watching others sail into adventures you only dream about. The truth is, you don't have to be ready. You just have to begin. Life will not wait for you. Opportunities are like birds. They perch for a moment and then fly away. If you hesitate too long, you'll be left with nothing but the sound of their wings fading in the distance. Stop comparing your journey to someone else's. Your story is not theirs, and theirs is not yours. In Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor Frankl reminds us that purpose is what carries you through the storms. Without it, even the calmest days feel empty. So start today. Write the page of your life you've been postponing. Call the person you've been meaning to forgive. Begin the project you've been afraid to attempt. Plant the seed, even if the harvest feels far away. One day, you will tell the story of your life. Make sure it is one worth telling. A story of courage, action, and love, not of excuses, delays, and what-ifs. The clock is ticking, the sun is setting. The question is not whether time will pass, it's whether you will use it well. Don't waste your life. Time is the most valuable currency you own, and it never comes back. Imagine you wake up every morning and someone secretly places a treasure chest on your doorstep. Inside, there are exactly 24 golden coins. You can spend them however you like, but there's one rule. You cannot save them, you cannot borrow more, and once they're gone forever. That treasure chest is your day, and those coins are your hours. The tragedy is, most people don't see them as gold. They treat them like loose change, letting them slip through their fingers on things that do not matter. We talk about money as if it's the most precious thing in the world, but money can be earned again, replaced again, rebuilt again. Time is different. Once it's gone into the shadows, never to return. You can remember it, you can regret it, but you cannot reclaim it. This is why the wealthiest person is not the one with the biggest bank account, but the one who knows how to spend their hours with purpose. When you waste time, you are not just losing minutes. You are losing pieces of your life. Every hour spent in distraction or delay is an hour stolen from the person you could have become. The painful truth is, the future you dream of is built with the hours you have right now. And every time you tell yourself, "I'll start tomorrow," you are robbing yourself in broad daylight. The clock doesn't care about your plans. It moves forward, whether you move with it or not. The choice is always in your hands. Will you spend your golden coins on something that builds your story, or will you let them scatter into nothing? The people who leave a mark on this world are not necessarily the most talented, the richest, or the luckiest. They are the ones who understood that time is life itself, and they refuse to let a single coin go to waste. Comfort zones can silently steal years from your life. They are like soft, warm blankets on a cold morning, inviting, safe, and hard to leave. At first, you convince yourself you deserve to rest there, that you're just waiting for the right time. But days become weeks, weeks become months, and before you realize it, your dreams are sitting in the attic of your mind, covered in dust. The comfort zone feels harmless, but it has a quiet, dangerous cost. It slowly dulls your ambition. It convinces you that this little circle of safety is all you need, when in reality, life outside that circle is where you grow, change, and discover what you're truly capable of. Inside it, you avoid risks, yes, but you also avoid opportunities. The most dangerous thing about comfort zones is that they don't feel like traps. There are no alarms, no bars on the windows, no loud warnings. It's just life going on, one ordinary day after another, while your potential remains locked away. And then one day you look back and realize years have passed, but you are still standing in the exact same place. The truth is, growth is always uncomfortable at first. The first step outside your comfort zone feels like stepping into the unknown. Your heart races, your mind protests, your hands tremble. But beyond that moment lies the life you've been imagining. Comfort may give you ease today, but it will rob you of the adventures, lessons, and victories you were meant to experience tomorrow. We often think our lives will change in a dramatic moment, a grand opportunity, a sudden stroke of luck, a life-changing call. But the truth is, those rare moments are only the results of something else, the quiet, consistent choices we make every single day. It's the decision to spend one more hour learning instead of scrolling endlessly. The choice to speak kindly when it would be easier to snap in frustration. The decision to take a walk and care for your body rather than ignoring your health for just one more day. These tiny actions may feel insignificant in the moment, but they are the threads that weave the fabric of your future. Think of your life as a long road. Every choice you make is like taking one step in a certain direction. One step may not seem like much, but take 100 in the same direction and you'll be in a completely different place. That's why it's not the occasional burst of effort that transforms a person. It's the steady, almost invisible steps taken with intention. The danger is that small bad choices work the same way. Skipping your goals just for today, ignoring opportunities until tomorrow, giving in to distractions only this once. They stack up quietly, and before you notice, they've led you far from where you wanted to be. Every day you are casting a vote for the person you will become. And those votes, tiny as they seem, determine the ending of your story. When people look back at their lives, it's rarely the mistakes they remember most vividly. It's the missed chances, the unspoken words, the risks they never dared to take. Failure can sting for a while, but it also teaches, shapes, and sometimes even leads to unexpected victories. In contrast, the opportunities we ignore leave an emptiness that lingers far longer. Imagine standing at a fork in the road and always choosing the safer, quieter path. You might avoid a few stumbles, but you also avoid the mountains, the oceans, the adventures that could have filled your story. The human heart is wired to wonder what if, and that question grows heavier with time when it's attached to a road never taken. The saddest regrets aren't about falling down, they're about never stepping forward. It's not the broken attempts that haunt us in the end, but the moments when courage knocked and we pretended not to hear. We often forget that even a wrong turn can still lead to discovery, but standing still leads only to a life half lived. Life offers no guarantees except this: time will pass. And as it does, the memory of a bold leap will almost always be sweeter than the comfort of never trying. Better to have scars from the climb than to sit forever at the bottom wondering what the view from the top might have been. It whispers in your mind, painting pictures of disaster before you've even taken the first step. It tells you that you're not ready, not skilled enough, not strong enough, and that if you try, you will surely fail. The cruel trick is that fear rarely shouts. It speaks softly, reasonably, as if it's simply protecting you. But in truth, it's protecting itself because fear cannot survive in the presence of action. Many people treat fear as a signal to stop. But more often, it is a sign you are standing at the edge of growth. The greatest changes in life often arrive dressed in discomfort, and fear tries to convince you to turn back just before you reach the breakthrough. It blinds you to the truth. The danger is rarely as great as it imagines, and your strength is far greater than it admits. Think of all the dreams buried because someone listened to fear instead of faith. Think of the books never written, the journeys never taken, the words never spoken, the relationships never started, all because fear sat in the driver's seat. The reality is, fear loses its power the moment you take even the smallest step forward. Action exposes its lies. You will still feel your heart race, your palms sweat, your mind scream, turn back, but with every step, its voice grows weaker. Fear's chains are made of smoke. They vanish the moment you decide to walk through them. In the end, the life you want is often waiting on the other side of the fear you refuse to face. Without it, you can wake up every morning busy yet lost, moving quickly but going nowhere. Purpose is like a compass. It doesn't remove the storms, but it ensures you are sailing toward the right shore. When you know why you're here, decisions become clearer, distractions lose their power, and even challenges take on meaning. A life without purpose often feels like drifting at sea, tossed around by waves of other people's opinions, trends, and expectations. You end up chasing things that look shiny in the moment but leave you feeling empty when you finally hold them. But when you have a purpose, you stop chasing every passing light because you already have a fire burning inside you. Purpose doesn't have to be something loud or famous. It could be raising a family with love, serving your community, mastering a craft, or helping others find their own way. The size of your purpose matters far less than your commitment to it. What matters is that it's yours, not borrowed from someone else's dreams. When you walk in purpose, even your failures become part of the path. They teach you, refine you, and prepare you for the next step. You no longer feel like you are wasting your days because every day becomes a brick in the structure you are building. In the end, purpose turns life from a series of random events into a story worth telling, one where every chapter leads somewhere that matters. It sneaks in quietly, making you measure your progress against someone else's highlight reel. You scroll through pictures, hear stories of success, see someone doing what you dream of doing, and instead of feeling inspired, you feel smaller. The truth is, comparison is a thief. It robs you twice. First, it steals the happiness you could have in this very moment. Second, it distracts you from the work that would actually move you forward. Life is not a race against anyone else. Your path is as unique as your fingerprints, shaped by your experiences, your struggles, and your strengths. When you compare your chapter 3 to someone else's chapter 20, you ignore the years of unseen effort that got them there. You see the fruit, but not the roots, the stage, but not the rehearsals. Comparison can also trick you into chasing things you don't even want, just because someone else has them. This is how people end up spending their lives climbing ladders only to realize they're leaning against the wrong wall. The energy you spend envying someone else could be used to improve yourself, to build your skills, to walk your path with focus. The only person you need to be better than is the person you were yesterday. When you stop looking sideways and start looking forward, you'll find that your growth accelerates and your joy returns. Your journey is not meant to match anyone else's, and that's exactly what makes it worth living. Opportunities are not endless. They have windows, and those windows close. Every time you tell yourself, "I'll start tomorrow," the moment loses some of its power. Waiting feels safe, but it quietly feeds procrastination until your dreams become nothing more than ideas you once had. Action is what transforms vision into reality. And the sooner you begin, the sooner momentum starts working for you instead of against you. History is full of ordinary people who simply decided to begin. They didn't have all the answers, the perfect plan, or a guarantee of success. What they had was the courage to take the first step when it mattered most. And because they acted, doors opened that would have stayed shut forever if they had waited for the right time. The truth is, starting is often the hardest part. Your mind tells you it's not the right day, the right season, or that you need more preparation. But the real secret is that clarity comes from doing, not waiting. Every step you take, no matter how small, gives you feedback, teaches you something, and builds the confidence to take the next one. When you act now, you send a message to yourself and to the world. You are serious about your life. You stop being a spectator and become a participant in your own story. And while others are still thinking about it, you will already be moving, building, and shaping your future. Action has a ripple effect. Your courage to start can inspire others to do the same, and together those ripples can change far more than just your own life. Your life is a story, and you are its author every single day. Each morning, you're handed a blank page. The words you write on it are shaped by your choices, your thoughts, and your actions. Some days will be filled with victories, others with mistakes, and some with quiet moments that seem small but later prove to be turning points. But no matter what the previous pages hold, you have the power to write the next one differently. Too many people forget that they hold the pen. They let others, society, fear, expectations write their story for them. They accept accept a narrative they never chose, one that leaves them wondering why the plot feels empty. But the truth is, you can pick up the pen at any moment and change the direction of the tale. Your story will have twists you never saw coming, challenges you didn't ask for, and chapters you wish you could skip. Yet even in those moments, you can decide how the character, you, responds. Every choice is a sentence, every action a paragraph, every year a chapter, and when all those chapters are read together, they will reveal whether you lived with intention or drifted without purpose. One day people will tell your story. They will speak of what you stood for, what you built, and how you made them feel. Make sure the story they tell is one you'd be proud to hear. You cannot rewrite the beginning, but you can start today and create an ending worth remembering.